does it bother you guys when somebody says, I went up to California?
Yes.
I'm like,
so much.
You literally went south.
Down.
You went down to California.
You technically have
go
to go
up to
up
Canada.
and then you have to go down.
No. But when you're looking at a map and Oregon is here and California is here, you legitimately go down to the place.
Well, I'm saying like...
Same thing when you go to
elevation.
Seattle.
The elevation,
I don't
right?
care
Same
about
thing
elevation.
as
I agree.
Jerusalem. Like, we're going up to Jerusalem, even if you went
What
south.
about if you're going horizontally? Do you say...
Over.
Going
Go over.
Yeah.
So-
Well, then
so
Tri-Cities
you don't
is
say-
up and over. I went up and over.
So like the coast, I would say out. Like I go out to the coast or out to Eastern Oregon.
I
not
go to
down
the coast.
to Eastern Oregon or up to Eastern Oregon.
I don't know. That bothers me when
That's
people
bothersome.
do
Although I
agreed.
do say we go up to Mount Hood because it's
that.
vertical.
That's your point
Yeah,
you're
we should
making.
just do
Yeah,
elevation
elevation.
only.
Well, elevation
Yeah.
elevation is different from your actual direction of travel.
Agreed.
So they're two different things.
But so if you went to California, you could technically say, I went up and then down.
No.
Yeah, but if you...
Did you guys go up and over and down to California?
Did you go up
Through
over,
the-
down,
Through
around?
the candy lane.
Did you-
Well, you gotta go
through the
Grants
candy
Pass.
lane.
All right. So last week we were talking about lifestyle versus goals. Today we're going to get into goals as a whole, more of our what are our goals. So we can start from there. But wanted to get into this, but Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." So if we're talking about our goals, we'll start. Let's start with where we are, what our goals are currently. Brandon, what you got?
Yeah. I like to set goals at the beginning of the year too. Do you guys do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can we?
No? Yes.
Can we do a group goal setting at the end of the year?
That'd be
Like
great.
a meeting.
We should have like podcast goals too. But anyways, my goals, I've got a list of them. Just these are my goals that I set at the beginning of the year. So actually, this one's a new one. Sorry, I just went off on that. But a sub 3-hour marathon. That's one goal. 3:15 bench. I want to kill a bull elk or a buck. I want to create another source of income. Run a sub 5-minute mile. Read the entire Bible by the end of the year. Pray with my wife daily. Have a daily presence with my kids. That one's less like measurable, and I get like goals should be measurable, but that one is on my list as like a daily reminder that like the time that I do have with my kids, I'm not wasting it or dismissing them when they ask me stuff like that. And then take someone to the crusade. And then long term, this one's not this year, but I want to run an ultra marathon. Those are sort of my goals.
What counts as an ultra?
Anything over a marathon basically would be an ultra
So
marathon.
27 miles.
26.3.
Well, I think so. Typically, I think like it would jump typically from like marathon to 50K, which is like 31 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I think
I didn't know
would
if
be the
ultra
jumping
was
off point.
like only 100 plus or
No.
or where the.
Yeah, like
ultra
a 50K
tag
would
comes.
a 50K would be an ultra.
So you're saying you just run at least a 50K or something like that?
Yeah, which I guess I've done that, but I want to do it again.
Yeah, you actually. I don't think we've heard any of your goals. Like we haven't actually shared among us until now.
Yeah,
So
and a lot of those are physical goals too. Yeah, and sorry, that's kind of a long list, but I try to like blend in there physical, professional, family goals, like kind of all of them together.
yes.
So
For lifestyle
I like to be
goals.
specific with them too, and we'll get into that. But the more specific you are, the better off you're going to be. Because if you don't have a goal, I think someone said in the group chat last night, if you're shooting at nothing, you're going to hit it every time.
It's one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah,
Unless.
I did not understand that whole reference.
what did you say, Paul?
Well, I tried to find 10 different.
I
Yes.
saw. I
No,
saw.
you said
Because I
you
said,
got
I've got
a
10
handball or
goals.
something.
It
No,
was a
Netball.
netball.
You're still aiming at something. I'm confused.
I
No,
didn't-
you're not.
I
'cause
was
there's nothing to
ignoring all
aim
of
at.
those texts.
Aim at.
You're not trying to get it in that little circle?
You're not aiming at anything though.
Moving
You're
on.
aiming at the circle. Anyways, all right. Paul,
It's impressive.
let's hear your goals. You're a goal guy.
I am a goal guy. And I had 10 goals on the message. Yeah,
Do you have
thank
your top 10?
What are they?
No,
He's like, "I'm not
it was a
sharing."
joke. it was a 10 different gifts. Anyways. Yes, I do actually. That's okay.
We need a cam just on Brandon's face, and he can be
My
the,
reactions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can be
The-
he can be
the
like the
group.
Jim, and he just looks at his camera.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
He's more like
I
Oscar.
suggest that.
I think you could be Jim. Oscar be Jim.
All right, my
Get a good
goals.
face.
Kevin.
My goals. So I do want to read scripture every morning, and I want that to be a consistent daily aspect of my life. Instead of saying, oh, it's okay, I didn't get it this morning. I'm gonna do it later in the evening. It's never really as good, right? Giving your first is always much better. So I haven't been consistent with that all year, like every day of the year, but trying. I want to make sure that I'm teaching my children the scripture and actually participating with them and trying to convey what we need to actually convey, what's important about the Bible, and not just me saying it, but also doing it. And I think this podcast also helps because, my wife sees what I say, and then she also sees me at home. And it's a big eye opener. Right, and she's like, "Hey, what did you say
You're
in the
talking
podcast?"
good game on the podcast.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard that. That's
yeah.
good.
Who are
Yeah.
you?
You said
When are you
pray-
gonna do
like
that in
that
real
call.
life?
you said pray with your wife every day.
Yeah,
That's
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
Okay, that's a
why don't we
great
start?
that's a
goal.
good. Maybe next year. All right.
failed that on January 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also like a physical goal would be I want to lose. It's about 20 pounds, so I want to get down to about 195
Nice.
by the end of the year,
Be looking like a snack.
dude.
So you were at 215 before, like at the
So I
start
was
of
at
the year?
235. I'm at 217.
Nice.
Wait. Nice job.
So you've
That's
lost-
20 pounds.
you've lost
so
20.
you really wanted to lose 40 this year. You're
Yeah.
halfway there.
Yeah.
Hey, and we're halfway through the year. So
Boom.
you're on pace.
Boom.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a little bit behind.
You are a little bit behind.
It's
18,
true.
18 pounds.
It's true,
With
but
5
I've-
months to go.
I've leveled out because I've gained a lot of muscle.
Mm-hmm. That's what they all say.
Muscle
Hey.
weighs more than fat. That's the interesting thing.
It's a
I
bad
always-
excuse, but yes, it does.
Is it though?
Maybe
Does the
change the
scale
goal.
really tell you everything? I don't think so.
But the goal is still the goal, right?
That's
So
true.
whether or not I gain more muscle, that just means I got to lose more fat.
Stop eating.
That's probably not a good thing. Right? I mean, I feel like
No, you should do that.
maybe not for normal people, but you should do that.
See, here's the other thing you got to factor in because, like he's saying, you're technically behind schedule by a little bit.
I was joking.
I know, but
He is, though.
now you got to think holidays last 6 weeks. You have to kind of carve that out as like that's when
No
you're
pun intended on the
probably
carve.
not losing weight in
Carve
that time
that out.
period. So
Carve.
you only have less time
Turkey.
to get there.
With a knife.
Yeah.
Carb that out. That's
Carb
right.
Hey, we're just here to
Carve.
inject some accountability into your life.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're
can
looking
do it, man.
forward. Hey, that's the most positive thing
You can do
If
it.
you don't get down to 195, this seat's taken by
Hey.
somebody else.
I haven't known you that
If
long,
you
but you
don't-
look good.
If you don't
Thanks.
get down to 195, I'm going to kill you.
I'd like to see you guys try. I'm gonna be so jacked.
Were you done with your goals?
Well, I have some Bible verses, but we can go through them later in the podcast.
Is that all your goals, though?
Yeah, those are basically
That's
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
We're just
I'm a simple man.
So the funny thing is, randomly, this is like how much I care about goals, like on the surface. I did set goals at the
He doesn't
beginning.
want to be here.
I did set no. It's funny because I did set goals at the beginning of the year. Sat down
Couldn't
next
find
to my
them.
wife. No, after the first week they evaporated. Like I didn't, and literally just last week they were on our kitchen counter, and I looked at them.
You threw 'em away.
No, I didn't throw them away. I looked at them, and I'm actually achieving the goals that I wrote in January. But I have not been tracking them. I haven't. It's not like been a daily checklist like you might do because you have yours like broken down from year to month to week to,
John Maxwell
to
style.
day. So I thought that was really interesting. Like I had compete in a marathon, which I'm doing in October.
You're there. You're
So
getting
I'm
there.
doing that. I haven't done it yet. Jiu-jitsu 2 to 3 times a week, doing that, other than when I
Brief
had
break.
the staph infection.
Did you ever find out who gave it to you?
No. I'm still
Joey.
I'm still in the search. I'm in the search.
You're like looking at everybody's leg.
Basically a one-day outing with the family every month. Like meaning an intentional whole like day, whether it's a weekend or something like that, to go out and like do something just as a family, and then each quarter to go on like a family trip, which we've done. So it was just really interesting to completely forget about all that stuff. But I think because I set my focus right at the beginning of the year on doing it, I kind of put things in place to be doing that. And so I thought that was really cool. But in terms of like the remaining goals I didn't have the Portland Marathon like in January. I wasn't like in October I want to do the Portland Marathon. I actually signed up for it like a week or so ago, so I have way less time to prep for it. And then next year in April, I'm going to do the Eugene Marathon. And then the idea is this year I want to hit 320 or sub 320 in the marathon. Yeah, 320 pounds. So that in April, which from October to April is like 8 months, in April I want to go sub 3 and then do the
Subatomic after
Boston like be able to qualify for the Boston Marathon, which would be in 2027. So that's kind of short plus long-term goals in terms of just running.
What is a per mile pace for sub 3?
6:52
For
sub
26.
3.
For my age though, I think it's 3, like sub 3 hours. But you have like the closer you are to like if you're at 2:59:50,
You're not getting in.
there's thousands of people that are at that. So the further down you can get, if you're like 2:52, then you're pretty much guaranteed. But the closer you are to that barrier,
cutoff,
there's so many more people that are right there.
Every year it's gotten lower and lower.
Yeah.
Recently, yeah. It's like 258s. They're not getting in. A lot of
Dude,
the time.
Right.
there was a guy that did sub 14 on the 5K this weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Insane. That's disgusting.
That's 3 miles, 3.1 miles in 14 minutes. Less than 14 minutes.
13:55.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
And he was like 30. Was he like 35, 36?
yeah, it's like 4:29 mile pace.
That's quick.
3 miles.
Sprinting.
Disgusting. It kind of is a sprint.
But sub 3 next year is a good goal, man.
Yeah. It's I'm excited for it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of similar to you where I kind of mentally go through what I want to do, but I don't always check back to it. I mean, I make these weekly lists, and I have like the priorities and whatnot, but I'm not quite as organized in my goal setting as I think I could be. Which is why I was excited for this podcast, because like I put a little bit of prep into it, and I'm talking with my wife, and like I think we will have a better goal setting strategy moving forward. But so a couple of goals. I'd like to get to 185 pounds. I was at like 160 for the last 10 years, and up.
So you're trying to get up.
I'm trying to go up.
Why don't
Up
you just
20.
give him
Yeah.
what you don't
You
want?
guys could work
I
together.
don't know if you know how this works, but
No donations?
no.
No donations.
You have to find a donor.
Yeah,
No
we're
nuts.
not compatible to we're done.
Yeah, different blood
Donuts.
types.
Yeah.
He needs to
Donut.
find more donuts.
Yeah, yeah.
And I need to find a treadmill.
I want to maintain flexibility and nimbleness. You know, I think
Nimbility?
Like a
nimbility. Yeah. Well, it's like just a lot of this stemmed from my old job. I had to like crawl under buildings while bringing these heavy materials and stuff, and so doing that sucked. But it sucked less if you're flexible, nimble, and using your body properly. If you're staying healthy. Maximizing daily discipline. That's not really. It's kind of hard to measure that one, but I just feel like.
Is that just like chucking your phone into the sea? Just
Honestly, yeah, getting rid of scrolling, getting rid of
Yeah.
these bad habits, and implementing the smaller things. Really want to get my family out on property. So like we have a nice house, we have a shop, we have like definitely blessed with what we have, but I want my kids in the dirt running around feral. So that's a goal. Probably next 2 years.
Make your children feral. Got it.
Make children feral. Check.
Just kick him out of the house
Just
right
ask
now.
Paul how to do that. He's ride around on bikes with no clothes.
Yeah.
Naked bike riding.
They're- yeah.
You live in Portland, so
Oof.
No, we don't.
Naked porn.
Different naked
Bite
bite
red.
writing.
Yeah.
We are currently trying to grow our family. So for us, that looks like embryo adoption, which is a whole nother topic. But we're in the process with that. And
Dude, I see your hands. It's like
is it right
I can
there?
feel the wind.
The wind.
It's a hot seat.
We are
sorry.
adopting.
Adopting. Always being present with the family. I think it's so easy. Like my wife and I will lay in bed and like kind of tear up as we think like our kids are already this old. Like, how did we miss so much? And so it's just a constant reminder to stay present daily. It's just really easy to get in my head and thinking about like I'm home, we're on autopilot, I'm thinking about all these other things, but to shut that down and spend time with the family. We've been doing Saturday dates where I take one kid and my wife takes another kid, and we spend a couple hours in the morning just one-on-one time, which has been pretty cool. The girls love it. Always be in the Word is a big one for me. We've been doing the Bible in a year, which that's a marathon. That's a bit. I've definitely missed some days, but that's a goal, is to finish the Bible in a year. And then I like to supplement with a lot of audio podcasts. Chuck
Joe Rogan.
Meisler.
Oh.
Similar. Yeah, same thing.
So when you miss a day, the next day you get it, do you just go to that day, or do you?
Do 2.
If it's like 1 or 2 days, then yeah, power through and read it. But like, I'll be honest, I've missed a month, and you just got to start fresh.
Catch up.
I didn't catch up on that month. I just moved to the current day, and
That's interesting.
We'll get that next year.
I'm like 2 weeks behind, and I've been 2 weeks behind for like
2 weeks.
2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So when we
But
had
you
our
just-
third kid,
You're just gonna
it
end
was
it
really hard.
at the beginning.
No,
of
I'm
next
like
year.
on, what is it? I'm on like July 15th right now.
Right,
Yeah.
but you're gonna end it.
2
Well, I'm
weeks
hoping-
beginning
late,
of January.
maybe.
I'm hoping to catch back up.
Yeah.
So I'll try and do like 2 a day, and I'll just like slowly catch back
yeah.
up. It's
Hopes and dreams.
no, I've
It's
been
a
doing-
lot.
It's ifs and
It's a
buts.
lot. I
Yeah.
actually might switch to ESV just to make it a little bit simpler reading.
digestible.
What are you doing now?
Yeah. KJV.
Ooh, King James, that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
ESV
brother
is
and I
the
used to read the
top
Bible in
tier.
a year, and what we would do is, if he was behind the week between Christmas and New Year's, my brother would just read like 8 straight hours and
Cool.
to catch up.
That's cool.
And but he did it. He would get fully finished by the end of the year. But that dead week, it's like
Yeah.
a lot of leftover Christmas food and
Better
like
than
bowl
what I was
games.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, what else are you gonna do?
I would play a lot of video games.
The reason I would skip though is because I really appreciate when my wife and I are reading the same day.
Ooh, this
And
is
she's
insane.
consistently continuing on.
She has been a lot more consistent than me, but she does lately. She'll do what you're doing, and she's a day or 2 behind and stay there. But when we're both on the same day, it's really cool to talk about these things. And yeah.
Stay aligned.
Yeah. And then another main main goal is to grow my business. Right now, it pays bills and we have quite a bit of freedom, but I'd really like to get it to the point where it pays our bills on, say, 20 hours a week. And then after that, I'd really like to have enough time to either create additional income streams or spend more time with the family or whatever. Just that little bit of freedom. Just expand on what we're doing. So, but that's most of it.
Nice.
I'd like to get an elk too with a bow. Was the
With a
goal.
bow.
With a bow, yeah. I've gotten lucky with the rifle, but
Eyes closed.
mhm.
Got him.
Pew.
I honestly kind of. It's pretty bad. Brandon knows, but we won't get into that. That should not be public.
What are your goals?
Okay, real quick, Eric, can you grab me the paper above you? Right there, yeah, just pull it out. You don't have to take it down. I forgot to grab this beforehand.
Don't have Eric be on camera.
So the cut will be
He's too
you
good looking.
saying, what are your goals?
There's no cut in this.
I'll be
yeah.
like,
I'm glad you
yeah,
asked.
I'm done.
It
No,
doesn't.
just keep going.
I've been feeling that way too.
I'm just gonna
what you're talking about. Like, it doesn't always have to be
No, we can just keep going.
perfectly.
No, I like
cut.
this. I like it.
Yeah, just keep
Yeah,
going.
just go.
It's
Look
you're
what I
you're,
got.
Hey, hand
you're
me my
human.
goals. You got your goals. Read them.
You're a human.
Human.
You
We
forget
are
things.
human.
we are human.
Good job.
Human.
Don't worry.
So I'm kind of, I think you said you're kind of a goals guy. I'm
Yeah.
definitely a nerdy goals guy. So like all of December, I'm thinking about next year's goals, writing them down, whatever. And then I like to, if possible, take like a weekend to go get a cabin and like think about it. Whether it's with buddies or your wife or
Just
whatever.
a bunch of dudes
At
in
some-
a cabin.
Yeah.
You want to get a cabin?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Well, okay.
Let's have a pod weekend, but with our wives.
Dude, we can
In the
record like
cabin?
6 podcasts in a
A
weekend.
big
Yeah.
cabin.
That would be. They would love that.
What if we all get there with our wives and do a full group roundtable with wives?
Of how terrible we've been.
Yeah. How did we do this year, and what should we improve on?
Real bad.
we make
Hey,
the mistake of live
feedback,
streaming it?
Communicate.
Can we cut that? No, it's out there.
It's
on right
live.
now.
We're
It's
live
where
streaming.
is it? It's in the cloud.
People are sending the skulls in the comments.
Dead.
Dead. All right.
Cooked.
So last year I have categories for the goals. I'm not going to read all of them, but
Thank goodness.
I know you don't want. There's different philosophies on like do you do goals as like you set 5 goals that are your top priorities and you focus on those 5, or is it more expansive? For me, it's like categories. So at first I had 6 categories, which was faith, family, marriage, various things. Then I was like, I don't want faith to be like one of the sections. I'm like, okay, compartmentalizing. It's so this year.
Paper.
It's the paper on which so basically I changed it to how do I make much of Jesus in these 5 categories or 6 categories. So marriage, family, physical fitness, education, adventure lifestyle, and business. So those were the sections, and each one has like 3 or 4 of them. But for marriage, I think it's about intentionality, kind of like what you're talking about. It's not about like checking the box, because this is the hard thing is if you create a goal and break it down to, okay, here's what I'm going to do every day. The difficulty is you make it formulaic, like you're checking a box, and it's kind of like what you don't want to do with your faith. You also don't want to do with your wife, where you're like, I
talk to you.
I need to send my wife a
Compliment.
note. So you text your wife and you're
That's
like,
actually not a bad thing though to actually
this
check
week,
off.
Right.
Well, it's like
right.
the whole idea of you get to, as opposed to you have to.
yeah. So I love the discipline of having like a daily chart. You're like weekly, you get there by breaking it down from what I want to do this year to what I want to do this month to what I want to do this week. And then you can like track it. So for me, it was, I'll just say emphasize my marriage. So work on pursuing my wife in a much more Christ-like biblical way. With family, it's a lot of
That sounds like a podcast, by the way.
what?
How to pursue your wife in a biblical way.
Eric, can you write that down? No, yeah, I agree. I think that's one that we could do. So, family was mostly like one family vacation. I want to start emphasizing Sabbath. So like actually a day off where you kill the phone. So far, we're 6 months into the year, and I have not done that. So
Control Alt Delete the phone. Actually,
control
Unalive the phone.
self-destruct the phone.
Unalive the phone. I have a
Every weekend you break a phone. Ah, dang it! I forgot I broke the phone again. I gotta get
I
another
gotta go
one.
buy another one. That's expensive. With
No
physical
Kias.
fitness, I put same thing as you, 2 or 3 times a week, about 150 a year, so 50 weeks in a year, 3 times a week, and then compete in a jiu-jitsu tournament, which I've already done in May.
4th place.
4th
Nice
place. Yeah. Off the podium barely, but
He wasn't trying to be in the
now
picture like this.
Now I'm agitated. Yeah, there was the 3 guys, and then me. I told my wife, take the wide angle picture.
4th place out of 4.
No, it was not out of 4. Thank you very much.
5.
It was 6, right?
Yeah, I went 4 and 2, so it was
That's pretty
It was-
good. 4
yeah,
and 2.
it was
You only
good.
lost to 2 guys?
only lost to 2, and the only lost the guy who won gold. I beat the guy who won gold, but then
Yeah.
he went on a run. So,
But the
anyways.
person that he tied with, because it was a tied for 3rd,
Oh.
he got subbed by to His only submission
Yeah.
that he got subbed by.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it was a
It
tiebreaker.
was
Sub you.
my last
Head and arm
round.
choke.
Head and arm
Head
choke.
on, I always get that because, okay, we don't have to get too far into it, but
No, let's get
Did you
really
tap?
far
when
into
you're a
it.
white belt, if somebody gets into your side control, it's very difficult to get out.
Kind of gun to your head.
Especially when you're in your 5th or 6th round in a few
And you're
minutes
tired.
and you're just dead. So I could see what he was doing the whole time, but I just couldn't stop. I had no strength left. And I was just like,
What a like experience though of like you know what he's doing, but you're physically unable to stop
I was
it.
physically unable to
I
move.
can't even. Oh, that's weird, man.
Almost unalive.
Yeah, he was there. It was
So
tough.
You're
I saw it.
Were you
self-deleting.
laughing?
There were
No.
guys puking in bags because we're all, so the way
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu works is you break down by weight class, age, and belt level. So these are a bunch of mid-30s dads that are white belts. So we're not like extremely athletes. And so there was this one guy after every round he was puking in a bag and then going back out and he won silver.
Who
So
wants to wrestle
I
with
apparently
that
wasn't
guy?
willing to puke. So
I'd like puke.
He's like, all right,
Puke
come
all
here.
over the gi, so
Yep.
it's like intimidating.
but
There
I
was a
wasn't
girl
the
that
guy who
puked at the
I wasn't the guy
5K.
who went 0 for 6. So I was good with
Yeah,
that.
they look like they just came off of a bar run though.
A bender.
Yeah, a bender. And one of them had 4 Cassandra on her leg. Anyways, sorry.
More goals.
Read the entire New Testament. So I've
Nice.
done the Bible in a year before, and I like it, but you always feel that pace that you guys are talking about,
Yeah.
where it's like
You can't
you
really
fall
dive
a
in.
day or two behind, and you're like, I got to read 9 chapters to
Yeah.
catch up, and it's like, and so it's a good pace. And at this point in my life, I'm like, I don't think I have the capability to do that unless you're waking up at 4 a.m. every day and putting in an hour early, which you could do, but it's difficult. So I did just the New Testament because I wanted to be more slow and methodical about it. And then there was Adventure Lifestyle. I'm not naturally a person who likes to rest, so I was like, I want to put some things in here like golf 12 times and camp and various things like that. So I had some goals there. And then with business, it was some business goals, some revenue goals, like for myself versus the business. But I think the key for my goals, I would say, is, and like I said, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I think getting your goals, putting it out for a year, and then breaking it down to a month. What do I want to do this month? What do I want to do this week? And I mean, it just depends on how type A you want to be. I haven't, like, I've had the those check boxes where you actually have the whole week and you're checking off boxes. But this
Type
year,
A.
I'm not type A. That's the
Really?
thing. Yeah. So I'm a little bit that way with goals, but then I don't keep up with the type A-ness because it's not natural to me. But I want to be that way, more like that. So, okay. So once we have goals and plans all set, how do we stay consistent, Paul? How do we stay consistent? How do we keep driving towards those goals without falling off, quitting halfway?
Yeah, I think that's a really tough thing to do. I like what Cam had mentioned is that he talks with his wife about his goals, and that's a huge proponent. Is we can have all the goals in the world. Our goals could be going hunting. It could be going and training for an ultra marathon. It could be I want to golf, right? All of those things are great things for us to stay physically fit. But if we are not on the same page with our wife, and our wife is not like okay with us spending 2 hours out of the house, that goal sucks, right? And so having that conversation with your wife, making sure there's expectations that are understood of, hey, if I want to do this goal, are you on board with me, right? So like if I want to be able to do a high rocks in October, there's a lot of weight I got to lose and a lot of training I got to do, which means that takes away time from the family sometimes. So yesterday, my wife and I, we did a workout and we did it all together in the backyard. And we had Olive did it almost the entire time. Ellis jumped in, and then Mabel's over there trying to like do a burpee.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is great. And then, our oldest was just coloring and hanging out, and it's just different personalities. But that's something that we can take a goal that we have and somehow try and get the whole family together. So I think the biggest thing is having that conversation with your spouse and understanding what your goal is going to require from them as well, and make sure you're on the same page, because nothing is going to be worse than you trying to hit a goal that your spouse is saying what you're doing is making everything worse. So first of all, having that conversation with your spouse, praying about it, making sure that this is the direction that you have for your family, and then having accountability with not only your spouse. My wife is my biggest cheerleader, but also my biggest like, hey, you really need to have that fourth dinner at 10 o'clock at night? Like, yeah, I do, because I'm really hungry.
Wait, fourth dinner?
Fourth dinner,
Like
yeah.
4 dinners in one night?
Bro, I've had like 4 dinners before. There's a reason I hit 235.
You can do it. Do it, lady.
Fourth dinner?
Do
I've
it,
hit
lady.
5 dinners before. Don't tempt me.
Nothing wrong with a good dinner or 5.
Yeah,
4 to 5.
I like dinner.
yeah, I love dinner. It's the best meal of the day.
Mm,
Because you can have breakfast for dinner. Actually, technically you
I
can't.
love breakfast.
Actually, yes, you
for
can.
dinner.
But then you love breakfast.
Hey,
No, because
yes.
breakfast is just the first meal of the day. So if you don't eat until dinner, you've had breakfast.
Breakfast food.
Anyways,
Nice.
having someone else to keep you accountable. So this is a huge thing, right? Coming together and being on a podcast and then also working out together on Saturdays is huge.
What was so funny about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
It
don't
got
know.
so
Don't worry
funny.
about it.
That was funny.
He looked at Brandon's face. You know how it is.
I had the most
No.
blank stare that time. That's funny.
But just getting together with a group of guys and working out on a Saturday, just that one time a week is really helpful for me to be in it throughout the week, because I know that if I'm sucking air, it's because I didn't put the work in, and nobody likes to be last, although I'm always last.
You
Yeah,
also
but-
do the most weight.
Yeah, you're always wearing the vest, and you're always doing 40s while we're using
I only
20s.
did 30s this week because it was a kettlebell.
Yeah, but still.
But I think a lot of us have different goals, though. And so I'm going for higher weight because I want to be stronger than I am now. And some people want to be faster. And so it's not necessarily the
Some
same.
people want to be weaker, so
Not saying you want to be weaker. I'm just...
I think I need to start following you. I'm just going to text you before the workouts, see what weight you're doing, and try to copy you. 'Cause
Well,
I'm
we're
okay being
there.
slower. I don't think I'm an endurance guy.
No, well, it's so like what we did this past weekend, a chipper is one of those things where it's like the longest mile. You know it's going to take time, and you just get into that mindset of like, I know it's a lot of movement. I'm just going to be like a train. It's a slow moving train, but once you get up to speed, you're going, you're good. And then you got people on
like
the
Thomas the Tank.
Thomas the Tank.
A train.
Thomas the
Oh,
Train.
I thought you said
It's
Thomas the
Thomas
Train.
the Tank
I thought you
Engine.
The blue
It's
one.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, it's Tank, huh?
I immediately went to Santa Claus of like when they're in that board meeting. Santa Claus is coming to town on a Panzer.
In the turbo tank.
No. Where's his reindeer?
Look out! They just took out the Clausens.
Top 5 Christmas movies.
Oh, it's
for
such
sure.
a good one. It's
Wait,
one of my
what
favorites.
is that?
Santa
Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
I don't know what you're talking about either. I just looked at the camera like, what?
The Santa Claus Christmas
I
movie.
love that movie.
Sorry.
I just am not following at all.
After
It's
he
the new
becomes Santa
marketing.
Claus and he gets stung by a bee, he goes into the
Oh.
office and he eats
Oh,
his
right.
salad and then he eats his
Yeah,
stuff.
he eats.
And then he has
Then
his
he
pudding.
orders all the food. And
Yes.
they're like, "What's wrong with you?"
And then they're rolling out the new marketing strategy for the Christmas toys, and it's
hell,
Santa
what's it?
comes in a
He's
tank.
not coming on a sleigh. He's coming on a Panzer.
Yeah, like I
Thank you.
found it super helpful to use chat to outline like the process of like, okay, you have a goal in mind. For you, like if it's the High Rocks, you have 10 weeks until October. I don't know exactly when in October it is,
I
but
haven't signed up yet, but we're trying to figure out. We got to figure out childcare first because I'd really like to have Ashley and I just go down and have that time.
yeah.
Just drop all 17 of your kids at my house.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just handle all of them.
You
Turn
should
it into
check-
a
you
We'll
should
come
maybe
over and
full-
hang out.
You should check with your wife on that
Yeah,
one.
I'm gonna be out of town, but my wife.
I'm being Texas golfing.
I'm gonna
See
be
my 12
golfing.
golf trips. I got to make
My
them all
wife-
up that
My
weekend.
wife is more than willing to watch all your kids.
That's very kind of her.
My wife is great.
No, but it is incredible using that as like an assistant to build out your schedule for the goals that you're setting, down to nutrition, down to like here's my like to the whatever level of detail you want to get with, like this is my weekly schedule. work my workouts or whatever the case is into my weekly schedule in these areas. I mean, it's super detailed. You can get down to, and then what I do is I convert all of that information to like a 1-page PDF that I can save on my phone, so that I'm not having to like go find that one chat that I had with Chad about that goal. It's just, now it's actually just something that is on my phone that I can reference at any point in time. That's been super helpful. Accountability, like you're saying, I struggle with making those snap decisions without talking to my wife about it, and that bites me in the butt a lot, because she is very like, my number one cheerleader, but she's also like, this is going to take a lot of time. You should have talked to me about this. So like the Portland Marathon, I had it on my schedule or on my goals to do a marathon this year, but then it was like,
She should have known.
well,
Wait, did you sign up without telling her?
yeah. And then I'm like telling people that I'm doing a
It's
marathon
like 4 hours. It's fine.
with her around, and she's like, "Oh, you are? You signed up?" Because she knew about the Eugene one, which like that's 9
That's
months
in
away.
March.
She's not worried about that. But then I low-key signed up for the one in Portland
10 weeks from now.
10 weeks from now. And so it's like, I need to be better about that. Even though it was one of my goals, I need to be better about my timing. And if I was more disciplined, I would have given myself more time to train instead of cram packing it into 10 weeks.
But in your defense, I will say, mad props that he woke up yesterday at 5 o'clock in the morning to go for a long run and get home before his kids woke up. So that's impressive.
That's part of working it in whenever you can, and being disciplined. Like, thanks for that segue, by the way. I'll pay you later. But I think that's the other thing too, is like being disciplined
Well,
and
he never pays.
letting people around you. For me, the idea of like talking to people about it, letting people know what I'm planning on doing, like for example, the Portland Marathon. The more people know that I'm doing it and know my goal time, then I'm like, oh crap, I don't want to get to the end of September and people ask me about it. It's coming up. Well, how you feeling? And I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore.
I hurt my ankle. My big toe is
I
broken.
think that converts to like more motivation for me, especially in those times when I like don't want to get up and run. I'm like, okay, I've not just made this goal for myself, I've told people about it. So there's like another element of, I don't want to let myself down or, have to tell people that I sucked.
You're like using peer pressure for positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Positive
it's
peer
the
pressure.
conversion.
Positive peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
I use it all the time.
I do that too.
Yep.
That's why I'm here.
pure pressure.
Pure pressure.
Pure pressure.
Pure and pure.
Whoa,
both of them.
peer
Trademark that.
pressure.
That's a
That's a good one.
t-shirt, brother.
Yeah.
Pure.
Pure pressure, and it's just our faces.
Yeah. It's all pure, baby.
That's great.
Default aggressive.
I'm gonna default to, I really like Sunday night meetings with my wife.
That's so
Don't
good.
always get them like when you're camping and whatnot, but on normal weekends, like last night we sat down for almost 2 hours as I was working through an outline for this, but it was like, it's good time to sit together, and I like to call it a skeleton for the week, because you can't plan out every little thing, but you can get a skeleton on like, these are the important things that we want to get done. These are the slightly less important things, because if they're not planned, they're likely not going to happen. But I think a pretty basic scripture for this was Genesis 2:18.
We're all turning quickly.
You're like, I should be able to find this really fast.
It's in
at the front.
it's in the beginning.
In the beginning.
In the beginning. The
That's
Lord
2:12.
God said,
2:18.
2:18. Then the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him. So, and I think it popped up. So the word helper in Hebrew is ezer, which is not to mean like inferiority, like your wife is not below you, she's not like your servant, your helper, but it actually implies complementary, like you're there together. And I was listening to a podcast last night where it's like man and woman aren't separate, they are together humanity, which is I think really cool. People say like woman came from man, but woman came, they're together, they're humanity. Anyways, back to, I think it's really important to bounce these things off my wife. And I think you mentioned like, does my wife let me do things? And I think that's people like, does my wife let me do things? No, you're working together with your wife. She knows what's best for you and she's going to help guide. So I sometimes, that's something I have to work on, is like I ask my wife to correct me in these things, but in certain moments I'm like, do not correct me. Like,
I don't want to hear
my
it.
friends.
I'm going to tell you something, and I don't want you to correct me right now.
Yeah. It's a struggle, but
Kill the dream.
yeah. So identifying priorities versus extras. I think we can all make this is the list of everything that we want to get done. We'll choose the top, like these are the things that have to get done. And then everything else is extra. If you can get them, great. But you have to have the top priorities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Brandon.
Sorry. A little more here.
Un poquito.
Mas.
Cutting out busy work. I think it's really easy to get to the computer and procrastinate. Like, oh, I need to do all these little things. And not really. These things, are you procrastinating to not do that sales phone call? Or that's just a little thing that I do too much, is like, okay, I need to check the email again, or I need to do this, rather than getting to the meat and potatoes of what needs to get done.
I love meat and potatoes.
I like meat and
Sounds
potatoes.
really good right now. Some brisket.
Minimizing extra thought. So for me, for my work days, like I have the same pants, same shirt every day. It's
Steve
really
Jobs,
simple.
baby.
Steve Jobs.
Turtleneck.
Yeah. Yep, no turtlenecks.
You actually dress up like
do
Steve
not
Jobs.
own a turtleneck.
To go to work.
As a construction worker.
Yeah, but dress for the job.
White
you're
wash
doing, not the
jeans.
job
Dress
you're
for
doing.
success. Yeah.
I never understood why painters wear white.
Yeah, when they paint.
They're
other
a
colors.
canvas.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, setting up small routines. Like if I know I'm gonna get up super early to do something, I will set my clothes out the night before.
Yeah,
It just makes it so much easier. It's that little mental barrier of, I don't want to get out of bed because I have to find my clothes in the dark. But if they're already out on the table and ready, like, check, makes it that much easier.
Amen.
Quick question: have you ever gone to work with two different pairs of shoes?
No,
Never.
never
No.
once.
Two different
Different
pairs of
socks.
shoes or two different shoes?
One pair on your feet.
You're like,
one
I go
pair
with
on
my
your
running
hands.
shoes and my work
Four
shoes.
You're
pairs
getting
of
dressed
shoes
in the
my
dark.
car right
Yeah,
now.
you getting dressed
Yeah.
in the dark. You put one shoe on,
How do you
and
not
it's a
feel
different shoe
that?
than the.
Well, he's got dress
Well,
shoes. They're
You wear
pretty
dress
similar.
shoes, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did this in Arizona, and I didn't realize it until 10
no.
o'clock. I was going to the bathroom. I was
Oh,
sitting
no.
there, and I
Oh no.
That's
And
amazing.
I go, these are two different types of shoes.
Were they close?
They're close.
Oh,
They're
that's
two
good.
both brown dress shoes.
At least they were
That's
different
always
colors.
good.
So like if from like 10 feet away, you wouldn't be able to know.
He's like walking.
He's got like a
He's like, I don't know
running
why I have
shoe
a
and a
limp
dress
today.
shoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that. That'd be ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
One
Well.
tennis shoe, one dress shoe.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Sorry, derailed.
That's okay. I'm almost done.
He's got a lot. He's taking all of mine.
Sorry,
That's
I
okay.
saw your notes and then I transferred them to my own words.
Chat. It's
Chat
incredible.
transfer.
Copywriter.
Write this in my own words. No, I think again getting back to the priorities, the important disciplines should be followed up with accountability. So for me, if I don't get up early, then my skeleton plan for the day is thrown out the door. So I text Paul every single night. This is the
Aw,
time.
that's so
this is the time
cute.
I'm getting up in the morning. Thank you, Paul. And if I don't, then there's a
Besties.
consequence.
Bro woke
There's
up
a
at
consequence.
3:30.
What is the
We changed it to
consequence?
3:45.
Oh, you
so
did?
3:45 this morning.
Whoa.
I have to do burpees because I woke up at 4:05, but then I went back to
I
bed.
heard a
You
guy.
do
Go
that.
by 4:05.
I can't do that.
20.
I heard of a guy
Yeah,
doing
that's
like
4:20.
brutal punishments for one another if you don't do something you're supposed to do, like working out. And it's like,
What, they like beat
like
each other?
no, they
Like
would
soap?
They got
they would
boxing gloves. They
donate.
just hit
They
each
would
other.
donate to like
Charity or
like the
something.
opposite political party or
Ooh.
Planned
Oh,
Parenthood.
ooh,
Like,
ooh.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
thank you.
No.
Like, it-
See, that's why it's a good one,
I can't
though.
let
Yeah.
this happen because now
That's
that
horrible.
yeah
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
that's
there's
well,
no
I
grace.
know.
That's not
Punitive.
grace.
You have
I
to
know
go get
I'm
a
imperfect, so
puppy.
we do.
Donate
Hey.
to BLM.
if that's what's gonna happen, you will
Yo.
get out of your bed.
No
Get out of
way.
bed.
We do 50
That's true.
burpees.
Yeah.
If you don't get out of bed when you say, you got to add 50 burpees to your day, even if you have another workout, whatever. So it's like it sounds little, but you're like at 25, and you're like, all right, I'm getting up tomorrow.
At
So you woke
95
up
degrees.
late though today, right?
Yeah, so I owe him
Do it,
50 burpees.
lady.
I'm
Right
not a
now.
lady, and I'm not going to do it on the podcast.
All right,
How do you-
let's jump
in
to
the background right here?
let's jump to Brandon.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have like 30.
Wait, don't you have a little
no,
bit
no,
more?
No, no more, Cam.
Yeah, I
You
have one more.
30 seconds.
I have one more.
Go
No.
fast. One more.
Just the Sunday.
No,
Sunday
no,
Sabbath.
I have
but
to
that's it.
actually,
The
Brandon.
what? Sunday what?
Sabbath
Gotcha.
to avoid burnout.
That's
No
such
more.
a good one. I love.
Yeah.
All right, 15 seconds now. Go.
You just lost it. Let's
Gentlemen
just skip
would
him on
like
this
his
area.
time.
No, I think it's really important to have focus and intentionality. And what I mean by that is with specifically my goals, and if I look at just the physical goals, a lot of those are really hard to do simultaneously. Like, they're possible, but like a 3:15 bench and a sub 3 marathon, or like a sub 5 minute mile at the same time, is like the strength and the endurance. Very hard to do at the same time. Again, actually possible, and in the future, I want those things to happen at the same time. But I have.
Yeah, what's that guy online? He does both. He's
There's a lot of guys like
super
that.
ripped but runs.
Truett.
Yeah.
Yeah, Truett Haynes.
There's a lot of people
on,
that
man.
do stuff like that, though.
It's just pain.
Not
You're
just
wearing his
him.
hat.
It's just
Yeah.
pee.
I think it's great. But I think it's I think there's value in prioritizing and executing. Like, this is what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to put all my effort into this. I'm going to get it done, and then I'm going to switch over and finish this goal over here. And I have the tendency to like do the opposite and like kind of flip flop, yo-yo back and forth. Like, I'll start training for an endurance thing, and I'll start losing a little bit of weight, losing a little bit of muscle. I'm like, oh man, I want to be stronger and bigger. And then I kind of like, I start eating more and lifting a little bit more. But then that sacrifices the endurance goal too. So being
You
able
just
to
can't do it, man.
being able to stick to one, execute it, and then move to the other. There's value in that.
There's a book called The One Thing. You ever read The One
Nope.
Thing? It's a really good book.
Sounds like you shouldn't read it because you're trying to do the two things.
Time.
Yeah, is there
That's it.
a book for the two things that Brandon can do? So, okay,
There's value in being like a hybrid athlete. I'm not saying don't do that. And I like that. I like strength training,
so
running.
what happens
Like
when
a
life gets
CrossFitter.
in the way and you have obstacles to overcome?
I think so. The first thing is if life actually does get in the way, something comes up that you are unable to foresee, which can happen. It's the same thing with dieting, exercise, anything, is not letting it compound. And I think that's a tendency for a lot of people. I think that's really evident with like dieting, is like you're on a diet, something happens, you're like, oh, well, I might as well eat the entire pizza because I had the piece and
Then
you know, I
ice
wasn't-
cream, then
yeah,
soda.
and then the next day it's like, I screwed up yesterday, whatever, it's not a big
I'm
deal.
kind of done with
the
the diet.
Yeah.
defeatist mentality.
Yeah, and you compound and it gets way worse. If you fall off the horse, you just have to get right back up. And that's really cliche, but it's not allowing it to compound.
I think it is really
Amen.
admirable. You, especially with food, you have your standard and you stick to it. Like, I very rarely see you deviate from that.
Look
Well,
at
that's
him
'cause he
smile.
does it in
so
secret.
proud of himself. Yeah.
He does it in secret.
Go on.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Say more.
talking.
Hey, when is the Brandon Ego podcast?
Next week.
Ooh.
that next
Just
time?
interwoven.
Yikes.
When's the Brandon vacation podcast?
That's every weekend.
Every weekend,
Every weekend is he goes on
12
vacation.
times a year.
Well, it's because he was never
Well,
disciplined.
Okay, I got one more thing to
He
say
had
on that.
such a good life.
Say it. Do it, lady.
I think a lot of the time things that we think are unavoidable. What are you laughing at?
The landscapers.
No.
We'll do it
okay.
live.
We'll do it live.
It is live.
Yeah.
Right now.
A lot of the time, things that people, kind of play off as unavoidable are, they're avoidable.
Completely avoidable.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Totally
so like
avoidable.
you're lacking a good plan, and I think if you are communicating with your wife and you're setting that plan ahead of time, that's why I think these goals are so important. And I know you're not a huge goal fan, but I think that's one of the main reasons they are important, is because you can mitigate the risk of like having those like unforeseen things happen. It's like, well, you could have kind of foreseen that would happen and avoid it. So
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
there it is.
That's in my notes. That's my last rep.
Oh, really?
Not anymore.
Not
Stop
brother.
taking
Not
it. Not
anymore.
anymore. Hope you think
This
of a
is
new
the
one.
6th rep.
Paul, obstacles. How do you overcome them?
You didn't want to talk about you?
What about me?
You skipped TJ.
No, TJ taught.
Hey, the order
No,
doesn't
this is a
matter.
Yeah, the
different
order doesn't
segment,
matter.
but-
I thought you weren't going to talk about how we can stay on our goals. Did you talk?
What?
That's fine.
No, I don't usually talk every segment.
Oh.
So
We don't really want them to be honest.
is that-
because we're a group. You want to just cut this?
No,
Because of the-
I like this part. I like this conversation.
talking about
So no, basically, I don't usually add in too much of each in each
Is
segment.
that a goal?
It's not a goal. The reason I did on the first one was because we were specifically talking about our goals that we want
Our-
everybody to track with us. I want you guys to keep me accountable as well. But then as far as just the random stuff, I'll add in here and there, but I don't usually take a time to
Gotcha.
talk.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Well,
You want me to talk more?
I thought, well, it's fine. Go ahead. No, please. Ask me a question.
No, I'm just pivoting. I'm just steering the boat, just trying to
You're just the rudder.
exactly.
The rest of us are the
hey,
power.
rudder. I mean, I'm the rudder.
We're the
So how does Paul keep things going
Paul.
when things get in the way?
Yeah. How do you overcome obstacles when life gets in the way? You have like 75 kids, so
yeah. Well, with 75 kids, it doesn't put a lot of time to be able to work out. So really, doing it with the whole family is one way to overcome.
This is what
that.
it's all about.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, Ashley and I were talking last night about, we're homeschooling, and like I remember doing physical fitness in school. There was PE,
Yep.
and there was also like the presidential fitness test.
Yeah. I
That was the
remember
beginning of my ego pitfalls.
you were first place.
Oh, yeah. I love the
You're like, I can do
presidential
5
awards.
push-ups.
Oh, way more than 5. Come on.
So I
Six.
can only do
Come on.
like I was a weak little scrawny kid. Like
Mhm, I
I was tiny. 100 pounds, 5 foot in 8th grade. I was probably the shortest boy. Anywho,
The
Anywho,
shortest boy.
yeah, it's only because there's a. Never mind. So how do you avoid pitfalls? Again, I have one of the biggest cheerleaders being my wife, who is a huge advocate for me just going out to work out, because she sees that
sounds like you have a great wife, man.
I do. She's wonderful.
Oh, I think that I found. Sorry.
That's up a cheerleader. You don't know that song?
That's a good song.
Good song.
Alright.
I'll send it to you
Please do. Thank
on
you.
YouTube.
Make it our
Pentatonic
outro.
says it better. But
Oh, Pentatonic says it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
wonderful.
Sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
Indubitably, it's
Sorry.
fantastic. This segment's great. The biggest,
Overcoming obstacles. We
Thank
want
you.
you to overcome obstacles.
This is one of them. So
With
let's
your
see how you get
cheerleader
through
wife.
this.
Let's watch. Real time.
hamster's going.
All right, teach. How do you overcome obstacles?
No, setting goals and being pretty particular about your goals is important, or else you said it. Well, you took it from him.
Did I?
If you don't plan, you
Yeah.
plan to fail.
Exactly.
I said it first, so who took it from who? I don't know.
It's okay.
There you go. It's fine. We take
all right.
everything from everybody. Nothing's new under the sun.
Hey, Ecclesiastes.
Yeah. Ecclesiastes.
All right, teach.
Yeah, I think the first thing you have to ask is like what's actually in the way? Like what can you identify that is truly in the way? If you've done all the things, if you've set the goals, if you have the accountability on board, if your wife is on board, then what is actually in the way? Are you making something in the way just to say, yeah, this takes higher priority? Obviously, there's, like you're talking about, unforeseen things that can happen in life that would 100% be in front of that. But aside from that, I feel like it is all comes down to your time management. Like, if you've set these goals in place, your spouse is involved and on board, how are you managing your time to make sure that happens? Because it seems like if you're setting goals and you're communicating with your wife, those are the two most important factors to begin with. Because why would you set a goal that is unattainable, or why would you set a goal if your wife wasn't on board with it? Then there's going to be then the in the way and the time management, all those things will actually take place. And the last thing we want to do is put a wedge in between the marriage. Like if we're so headstrong on setting a goal that your wife isn't on board with, there's just going to be a lot of problems with that.
It's really interesting that you brought up figuring out what's in the way, because Ash and I talked about this again after the 5K. I'm 35, my wife's a little bit behind me, and we started using age as almost this crutch of, well, you guys are 30, so that's why you're so much stronger and faster and fitter than I am, and so I don't have to be like you. And then there's these dudes that go sub 14. Well, one dude sub 14, two dudes there's a bunch of dudes that did sub 15, but they were 34, 35, 36. I have no excuse. So we were putting age as a barrier to entry to get to these elite levels.
It's an easy way to let your mind off.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
And just say, well, I'm old. That's why my back hurts. Well, you're not doing mobility exercises. You're not stretching. You're not taking care of your body by eating healthy things. Those are things that you're putting in as a barrier that I put in myself mentally, right? I can't do this because I'm getting too old. And that's just a lie.
Yeah. The truth serum is, do you actually want to do it? And when you sign up for it, are you thinking about gritting it out every day to make sure it happens?
Yeah, I've heard Joe Rogan talk about this. He was talking to the big health guy that he talks to all the time. He has his own podcast, Huberman. Huberman. He was talking to Huberman, and Huberman's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to do this and that," and he's like, "What are you talking about trying? Like, just do it." And it's funny because we use try as the obstacle that's like in the way of what we're doing. We're like, I'll try to do this. It's like the old it's Yoda, do or do not. There is no try. I think that's honestly the case.
You didn't
it's
do
like
it in the voice.
I'm gonna try to do this goal. If you haven't committed to the goal, saying I'm doing this, and then gotten committed to other people, that's why putting opposing political party donations or something as the opposite is the way to be like, wait a minute, I really don't want my money going there. So I'm it's like you just have to commit in your mind to not trying but doing. Cam, what do you got?
Yeah, I think there's kind of a spectrum on things getting in the way. Like Brandon touched on, more often than not, it's you personally letting things slide, not being accountable with yourself. And I'm speaking for myself here.
But you're pointing to Brandon.
Yeah, yep. But lack of accountability to myself, or just like letting that little thing slide, yeah. But I think more often than we realize, it's actually spiritual things that get in the way. And so for me, I notice I have my best days when I pray and put on spiritual armor in the morning. And I brought some receipts. Ephesians 6:10 through 13. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God. So I think it's so easy to get started, and I think as soon as we get momentum going, the devil wants to come in and stick a fork in your tires or whatever. And so it's important to recognize when you're being spiritually attacked and call upon the Lord. Like for me, it's I always like you get these jobs where they push and push and push, and all of a sudden you have 4 jobs that need to be completed in 1 week, and that can be super stressful unless you sit back and you're like, all right, it's in the Lord's hands. Whatever happens, happens. Like the Lord knows what this situation needs, and it always smooths itself out. It's nice. And then the other one I really like is James 1:2-4. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. So, yeah, we're going to run into trials, we're going to run into problems, but count it all joy. Good. Learn from it. Move on. Let it be a moment of growth. Yeah, just pivot, get through it. And I think, again, going back to the skeleton outline, like if you have your priorities and something comes up, you got to go to the emergency room, and that ruins your whole night, half the rest of the day or next day. Like you can still refer back to, okay, these things aren't going to get done, but the high ticket items will still get done. So it's like, yeah, and it's also like we're in a season with kids, with newer marriages. These things are going to take more time, and you might not be able to get everything you want done. So,
Yeah. The next verse after yours is really good too. I love verse 4. It says, "And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." I think that's our goal as men, is to be perfect and complete. I think that's probably not attainable this side of heaven, but that's what we're aiming for. So, but TJ, let's define clearly, what does success look like for a man of God this side of heaven?
Yeah, I mean, I think this might be the one that we've referenced the most.
You have.
Colossians 3:23. It's well, sorry, I was following along with your verses. Yeah, I mean, it just says, "Whatsoever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive your inheritance. You are serving the Lord Christ." I think that's ultimately, it's like, why did you set the goal in the first place? Was it to glorify yourself? Was it to glorify the Lord with the work of your hands? I mean, a lot of family goals, I think we're all in agreement, are centered around being that spiritual leader in the home, being the spiritual leader of your marriage and with as a father. But that should all be like the title of your goals is, what does it say?
Making much of Jesus in these things.
In these things, like how can I glorify the Lord in all of the goals that I set? But then like practically, like success is, that's why I have to ask, like, why am I doing it in the first place? Some are specifically set a goal to achieve something. Some are set the goal to promote a lifestyle change. So for me, like jiu-jitsu was specifically for promoting that lifestyle change. You know, like there's always going to be tournaments that I could sign up for, but I'm actively, every week, 2-3 times a week training. So that muscle is developing every week. That's less about, man, I actually want to get to this place. Whereas like the marathons I have a goal in mind so I can go to the Boston Marathon, like actually be a part of something that is relatively exclusive, that I have to hit a certain target to qualify to do that. There's like in my opinion, there's a difference in like what that goal is set for. But
Paul, what does success look like to the believer?
I go back to what our purpose is in this life, just to glorify God and be for his good pleasure. And so if our goals don't line up with that, then we're not going to be successful. And so, like you had mentioned, all for the glory of God. There's several
I think
verses.
that plays into when you're setting the goal as well as achieving the goal, right?
Yeah. So you want to make a goal that is in line with that, and then to stay consistent, I think having Bible verses on hand, like I can, not necessarily trying to take them out of context, but definitely understanding that what you're doing, trying to incorporate God in those things. And so some good verses for that is like 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. That talks about honoring God with your body. 1 Corinthians 10:31 is doing all for the glory of God. Whatever you eat or drink, do all for the glory of God. Hebrews 12:11 is a good one we can all turn to. So 12:11. Especially when you're in that workout and maybe you finish the first round and you're really tired and you're exhausted. Hebrews 12:11 is, for the moment all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. And discipline could either be, the Lord is disciplining you for an action, but also we can have discipline by working out. We can have discipline by not only doing the first portion of the workout, but also doing the second. And just the reminder of this Bible verse is a fun one, because in the moment, all discipline is painful. So you have to push through that pain, and it's not pleasant. And another thing is, especially as, this is probably going to date the it's going to date the podcast, but the CrossFit Games are coming up, and I've been watching.
Or have passed.
Yeah, well, it will have passed by the time this comes out. But Colton Mertens, who is just amazing, absolutely amazing. He is a fantastic CrossFitter.
Over here.
He's a cool guy.
He works and does CrossFit. Most of these elite athletes, their job is CrossFitting.
He's a farmer too.
He is a pig farmer in Iowa, and
with little wiener dogs.
Yeah.
They also breed wiener dogs, right?
Yeah, they're called
Dachshunds.
dachshunds.
I can't pronounce that word, so I said wiener dogs.
You can't pronounce dachshunds?
Is it X
Dachshunds.
or it's?
You just did it.
Or
Good
are
job.
they dachshunds or whatever? Anywho, he had made a statement on one of the videos that I watched, which was, if you're tired, do it tired. If you're sore, do it sore.
Yep.
If you're mad, do it
Yep.
mad. And
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Well, not necessarily the Shia LaBeouf. Just do it, which enjoy Shia LaBeouf. But the idea of getting through something, put your mind to it. You can have every excuse in the book that says, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I woke up late, or I went to bed late. Just do it.
Do it late.
Yeah.
Do it early. Do it lady.
All right, let's jump into the final rep. Brandon, let's leave the listener with some fuel for this week, for their goals, for whatever they're aiming at. What do you got?
Yeah, well, since you skipped me on the last segment, I guess I'll just do that.
You poor thing.
You were never disciplined, huh?
You lived a
Not joyous at the time. I think I'll just say, if it matters to you, you'll make time. And that rubs people the wrong way a lot of the time, because they're like, well, there's a lot of stuff that comes up in life, like that doesn't really work. No, it totally works, because here's the thing. If something comes up, if you have to take your kid to the hospital and you missed something else because you were taking your kid to the hospital, guess what? What mattered to you most was your kid in that time. So you made time for your kid. So it's like it's a self-fulfilling thing, really. Mm-hmm. So if it matters to you, you'll make time. So that comes with planning everything out, making sure you have a solid plan, and doing your best to be able to achieve that plan. And if things have to pivot, that just means you have an actual priority list and something was higher on the priority list. It doesn't mean like just failure overall. It's that mattered more to you than whatever you missed. And so you just have to be honest with yourself and be like, okay, if this actually matters, I'm going to make time, and let the chips kind of fall from there. Have your priority list, but let it fall.
I like that because it's a mirror of what did you allow to get in the way. I don't
Yeah.
want to say get in the way, but take priority over the list that you have made. So for me, trying to lose weight, if it's that fourth dinner, that took priority over me losing weight. You're looking at my gut, I know, but
No, I'm just thinking.
Cam, final rep.
Yeah, get some structure. Get that skeleton for your week. If you're not planning, you're planning to fail. And then I'd say find some brothers to stay accountable with. And some scripture to go with that would be Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. So get some brothers around you.
Paul, final rep.
just do it.
Just do it. Do you have to flex like that?
Do it tired.
I have to have a ponytail. With
Teach.
Just if you're not a natural goal setter, just find a couple things. Just like nail down a couple of things that you would want to accomplish and figure out why you're wanting to accomplish it. And then go through the steps of who do you need to communicate that with and what are the plans you need to put into place. And just try it out. Could be for accomplishing a specific thing or to try and adjust your lifestyle. But start with something smaller. There's the great goal setters that have 30 goals, but you can start with one or two to just go through that repetition.
Yeah. I'd say set goals that matter. Set goals in every area of life that will push you towards a kingdom-focused life, towards building something that is a life well lived. Like we all have one life. Somebody said the other day that yesterday is gone and you'll never get it back. So today you get to do it again, and every day is like an entire lifetime that you get to accomplish, and then it's gone. So I would just say build a life that matters and continue after those goals. And if it's like you said, if it's not something that you actually prioritize, then let it go. Like you'll know what's important to you by what you commit to and what you stick with. So we hope you stick with us here at God Gains and Grit, and we'll see you next time.
Bow, 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 bow.